everyone, AliceBrownLadyV here, bringing you our weekly update on how things are going in the writing world. And we've got some progress to share with you. We do. We're so excited about things because it has been an interesting, probably last 2 weeks.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, you just started the newsletter the other night to get it ready to go out. And believe it or not, normally January is a very dead month for us.
Yes,
and
it is.
Somehow this year we've managed to hit the ground running. I'm not sure how that happened, but it did.
I don't know either because we had all these wonderful plans for January and February, especially because there's no shows at all.
Pretty much
Holidays
doing nothing
are
and
over
writing.
with. And so we're like, there's not going to be anything going on. We can just, sit and write and be done with it. And while we did get some writing done, we did not get the full extent that we had wanted to done. But there was a lot of other things going on.
There
and we
was.
I'm not saying this negative in any way, shape, or form because it was good.
No,
we had
it's
fun.
all been positive.
Yeah, it has been. It just was unexpected. That's all, just unexpected, but in a good
life.
way.
That's life. It always throws you curveballs.
Exactly. So, the first thing we want to do is update on the writing, and we're going to go ahead and put up the progress page from our website now. And as you can see, we are currently sitting at about 48% on My Vampire.
Monster Mob Book 1.
Monster Mob Book 1. I am tentatively looking at this going out sometime in April, probably towards the end of April is kind of when I've got it penciled in. I cannot give a release date yet because we're still a long way off from finishing the book. And then it's got to go through, beta reading and edits and all like that. So
we still need a cover too.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm working on this week. I'm getting a hold of our cover artist. Jess, if you're watching, I'll be getting up with you, honey. So, yeah, we've still got a lot of work to go on it, but I feel confident. I think things are going good on it. So
I'm really loving where it's going. There's some twists and turns that even we ourselves as the writers, and I mean, you're probably sitting there going, this is not possible, but it is, that we didn't see coming.
Yes. Yeah, there's a couple scenes. As a matter of fact, I just added one the other night, and I was reading it to her when I got finished, and she's like, where did you come up with that? We didn't plot that out. I was like, where did this come from? And I'm like, well, it just, it's what the characters were telling me it needed to happen, so I went with it. And she's like, well, I like it.
Yeah, so the characters are overruling this book.
Yes. Yeah, but it is going good.
It is. I love it. It's turning out so good.
I think we've got a nice mixture of some comedy in there.
This book seems to have a little bit of it all.
Yeah, I mean, it's got some comedy in there. It's got some drama. It's got action.
It touches on a few, emotions. Mm-hmm. This is by far not, if you've read Vampires Among Us, this is not that type of book where you're heart-wrenching with, Erica. This is definitely different, but you do feel certain emotions with the characters in here.
Yeah. Definitely do. So we cannot wait to introduce everyone to the characters.
So excited.
If you have read Fire and Ice, Dragons of Dragonos 2, you will have already met the characters because they actually get introduced in that book.
Yes, definitely. If you haven't picked up Fire and Ice, pick it up today.
Yeah, pick it up, read it, because...
And besides which, you're running behind because book 3 just came out.
Yeah, Iromandus is now out, so... But Fire and Ice, we decided to go ahead and bring in the characters for Monster Mob and introduce them to everybody because eventually those two series are going to intertwine.
Again, that was the characters overrunning the story because we really did not think we were going to do that.
In actuality, the Vampires Among Us series, the Dragons of Dragonos series, and then the Monster Mob series will all eventually intertwine with each other. That is my goal.
They're just all going to go like this. Yep.
So, the other news we have to give you is, believe it or not, and I know we are now just looking at the beginning of February, and you're like, Alice, what's going on? We're only, 5 weeks into the new year, but our show season is already full.
Wow.
Yeah, I
Who are we?
Yeah, I don't know.
When have we ever had all of our mess in one sock in January?
I'm just sitting here flabbergasting myself
usually
because I am not organized, people, at all. I am not organized.
Usually we end the year and then go straight into New Year's and we're just like, okay, what do we do? We actually don't really start the new year until February when we finally start getting moving again.
Well, I usually take January to, box up all the old receipts, get stuff ready for taxes, yada, yada, yada.
Somehow you managed to do that already.
Yeah, try to get myself organized to at least start the new year on a good foot. It usually doesn't last, but, I do make an attempt to try to get started. But this year, I just hit the ground running and we got everything organized and we started getting... requests for applications, if we were interested to go ahead and sign up, and I was like, okay, well, let's go with it. So we're going to flip this over to our show page, and I'm just going to go over it real quick with everybody. Now, bear in mind, there are 2 shows on here that we have not received final confirmation yet on.
Okay.
And that is the Wilmington Azalea Fest in April 8th through the 10th, and then GalaxyCon in Raleigh. In the end of July. So those 2 we are keeping fingers crossed because they're both huge shows.
Yes, definitely. We are so looking forward to that. We thought we were not going to be able to get into GalaxyCon because there was a very kind other vendor at Christmas Carousel last year who does do a lot of the cons. I actually bought some of his artwork. He does it beautiful. I will leave his page linked in the description. Go check him out. What was it? Shadow Myths. That's what it was. Shadow Myths is his company's name, and he does some great gothic paintings. But he had informed us that usually you have to sign up for your con shows within the first 2 weeks after it ends. And, of course, this show is in July, and we were in November when we heard this information, so we thought for sure we were just not going to be able to get into it. But upon Alice doing some heavy research, she was able to find some separate booths that were available and signed us up.
They appeared to be available.
Yeah, they appeared to be available. So we're keeping fingers crossed. Keep your fingers crossed that we will be able to do this show.
This is a huge show that, like Lady V said, we really did not think we were going to get. I had fully planned on signing us up at the end of July, right after the show ended, for next year. And so when I found out that there was a possibility of us getting in this year, of course I jumped on it. So,
and of course I really want to meet William Shatner.
Yes, William Shatner from Star Trek is going to be there.
I'm so excited to meet the original Captain Kirk.
So going over our show page though, we've got the first show is called Fantasy.
And say that 3 times fast.
Didn't even get it out once. What are you talking about?
Fantasy.
This is a new show for us. We don't know too much about it. We're looking forward to it and learning about it. It is over in Durham, North Carolina, near the airport. And we're going to, if you notice on our show page, all the links for these shows are included. So if you're interested, go check out the links and
all those
get
links
the information.
Hold information about the shows. Also, if they require tickets or one-day passes to get in, you can find all the information in those links below.
Yeah. So our next one is the Wilmington. I can't talk today. Wilmington.
You're so excited to meet William Shatner too.
Wilmington Azalea Fest, and that's April 8th through 10th. That's in Wilmington, North Carolina. Again, we have not done this show. I know it's been going on for years. It is a huge show.
And we have not heard final confirmation on.
We have not heard. We have not heard final confirmation on that one yet either. I'm keeping fingers crossed, though. I hesitated back when we were doing the jewelry because I knew there was a lot of jewelry vendors at that show, and so I just didn't feel like, for the cost of it, that it would be worthwhile. But now that we're doing a lot of other things, doing the books and the mugs and the plaques and everything, I think it's going to be a great show for us. April 23rd, we are back in Meade, North Carolina for the Meade Dogwood Festival. Now, this show actually starts on the 22nd, but they will not the crafters are there for one day only on the 23rd, but in the evening of the 22nd, which is a Friday evening, they have, it's my understanding, they have food trucks, they have some bouncy houses and things for kids, and it's just, a festival.
Oh,
so
nice.
if you're in the area, please check it out. We love the Meban area.
Yeah, I believe we have plans to go up on the 22nd ourselves
Yes.
and have a mini writing retreat on the 22nd. So we'll probably actually go downtown in the evening
Just
for
to
some
see
dinner
what
and see what's
yeah.
going on.
Yeah, see what all. Yeah, we do. We will be going up there early to get some writing done. Then we have the big show in July 28th through the 31st, GalaxyCon in downtown Raleigh.
Yes.
And this is a huge, huge, huge show that we are definitely keeping fingers crossed that we get in. After that, we take a break, and it will be much needed, I'm sure. Plus, I don't like doing shows in the summer. It is way too hot here in North Carolina. The
Thankfully,
GalaxyCon is the
Inside
exception.
with the air conditioner.
It's an inside show, so I can deal with that one. Then we go to October. October 1st should be the Meban Autumn Fest back up in Meban, North Carolina. That is always a fun show that we love doing that one.
Yes.
We've been up there for several years now. October 15th and 16th, we are going to be back at the Oyster Fest. Now, that one, if you had watched our video after last year's show, we had stated that we were not going to be back at that one because we didn't do as well as we had hoped. However, we really sat down. One of the things I do at the end of the year is we sit down and look at these shows and really do some heavy analyzing. It's very easy to say, well, it's this person's fault or it's that person's fault or it's this. But it is very difficult to look inside and go, could we have done anything better to make that show better? And the answer for this one came back a resounding yes, that there were things that we did that should not have been done or should have been done differently that I believe would have caused us a different outcome. One of the things that we dealt with that show is Lady V's back went out, the day before we left, or the day of I think it was the day of
the day we left to set up, yes. And I was in excruciating pain, and I know when I get in pain, I tend to have a black cloud hovering over me.
And so unfortunately, it felt like we just had that black cloud right over our tent the entire weekend. I was also dealing with fibromyalgia myself that weekend, so it was just not a good weekend for us at all. And so I would like to give that one a second shot at this show. And go in there with a much better positive attitude, and I think we will rock it out. So that's my hope. Okay, after that, October 29th and 30th is Holden Beach. We cannot wait. Yes, Festival by the Sea. We love this show. This was our best outside show in 2021 that we had, bar none. So we are super excited to be back at that show. And then November 25th and 27th.
Through the
27th, the Carousel Gift Exchange. This is at the Jim Graham Building at the Raleigh Fairgrounds in Raleigh, North Carolina. This, by far, was our largest show that we did last year. It was a big show. If we managed to get in GalaxyCon, that one will override it this year. But, we loved doing this show. We met a lot of really
shopping at that show.
Yes, but we met a lot of really interesting people, met new fans, and as Lady V said, yes, we did a ton of shopping at that show.
Yeah, how can you resist? There's so much good stuff to go Christmas shopping for everybody there.
And they have a lot of unique items that are hard to find anyplace else.
Minus the fudge. I ate all the fudge.
No, you didn't eat it. I ate part of it too, honey.
Okay, we ate
the fudge. They have some dynamite fudge there. One of the things I found that I gave Mr. Brown for Christmas was those little decorative flags that you can sit out in your yard that a lot of people have. I found one with the National Guard symbol on it. As many of you know, he retired from the National Guard after doing first half in the Navy.
Yep.
He then switched over to the National Guard to finish up full-time National Guard. So I picked that up. It's things like that you're not going to find in Walmart, Target, even as much online shopping as I do. I have not seen that. So this one, if you're looking for unique gifts, Christmas, keep this one in mind because they have it. They have a lot of really interesting gifts there. So that is our schedule. And at this point, I am very hesitant to look at adding too much of anything else because we've got 4 more books coming out this year and we need time to write them. So should one of these fall through for whatever reason, we not get in or whatever have you, then yes, I may look at replacing it. But other than that, this schedule is pretty set for us this year. So 5 weeks into the new year and my year's already booked. We're planned. Okay, be done. The end. We're done.
I just can't believe that we've done this in January. First time ever.
I know. Used to be, well, this is the first year that we're doing spring shows. We usually concentrate for fall. And I really wanted to try to spread things out a little bit because doing shows back to back in the fall really kicks my tail in. And then we find out we run behind on writing, and it's a domino effect. And so my goal is to find us some shows to spread things out throughout the year so that it's not so hard on me, especially. So, and I think we've done that pretty well this year. So we've got a few shows in the spring, and then we've got 1 show in the summer if we can get into GalaxyCon, and then the last 4 are in the fall. Which fall is always going to be our busiest time, no matter what. That's when all your fall festivals are. Just it's the way it is. But I'm happy that we were able to spread things out a little bit this year.
Yeah, I think that'll make it a lot easier on your health as well.
Yes.
Because, going back to one of our previous videos, which I'll link above, running a business with a chronic illness, fibromyalgia does play a big part in the decisions that we make for the business.
Yes, it does. Yeah. And I know just in previous experience, because we've done these shows for a couple years now, that once we do a big show, I'm usually down quite a bit the following week. I'm just, trying to recuperate my strength. And so we tentatively, on a show, you almost lose 2 weeks because the first week you're gearing up for it. You're making sure you've got your product in. You're making last minute orders. You're getting everything ready. You're loading the car, yada, yada, yada. There's a lot of preparation and planning that goes into one of these shows. And then you've got the show itself, which can be anywhere from 1 day to 4 days. The longer the show, the longer I'm down afterwards.
It definitely takes about a full week for Alice to recover to full capacity and full strength after the show ends.
So if we do everything in the fall, where we're just literally doing them back to back with no break, then that really...
You'll be dead for Christmas.
Yeah, it leaves me no time to enjoy the holidays because I'm in a lot of pain, and that plays on future shows also, and I don't want to do that. So I think we've done a good job in spreading things out. I at least gave myself a week or 2 weeks in between every show, minimum, so that I do have that week to recuperate.
Yeah, I'm looking at the numbers across. And I do approve of that.
Yeah. So that is where we stand on things. We hope you like this video. If you are new to this channel, please consider joining us, subscribe, hit that bell button so you'll be notified. We usually only are on here once a week, but we use this channel to update you on A, what's going on in the writing, but B, also a little bit about what's going on just in our everyday life. So go ahead.
Also, head over to the website where you can subscribe for the newsletter. You'll be only bombarded once a month when we do send out a newsletter. But at the bottom of the front page, you can find all of our social media links. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
Yeah, so Lady V has been getting going on TikTok here recently.
Trying.
And putting out some cute videos for the of the animals.
Yes.
So if you haven't been over there and you got a TikTok account, check us out over there. So until next time, have a wonderful day.